It's budget. Dr. Ms. Gluck.
Sure. So the Budget Committee met on December 22nd. I was in attendance at that meeting. I'll report on that meeting. Corey will report on the meeting on December 29th. At the meeting on the 22nd, each person on the committee presented their proposed budget figure, and I, as the school board representative, was asked to present the committee with a school board figure that was agreed upon the night before of $34,539,366. That was a general fund figure of $33,265,865 and a special revenue amount of $1,273,501. Then each member of the committee presented their figure along with suggested cuts, and some members provided a handout with details of those suggestions. There were some similar suggested cuts as part of each proposal. The guidance director, a math coordinator, the district-wide PR, cut to administrative raises, the Northern Essex Community College dual credit program, along with a number of other proposed cuts. The final vote from the Budget Committee at the meeting on the 22nd was a total budget of $33,650,000. That was a general fund amount of $32,376,000 and some change, which overall was resulting in a decrease of $1,032,157,000 cut to the superintendent's proposed budget. They took out, there were some cuts to supplies to get to that figure. They took out the guidance director, the math coordinator, the district-wide PR, the administrative raises, the dual credit programs, 2 half-time teachers, legal fees, maintenance services, supplies, office clerical raises, and some other arbitrary teaching positions.
Which half-time teachers?
There were 2, the French teacher and the family consumer science teacher. So that was the meeting of December 22nd.
I had attended last Thursday's Budget Committee meeting, and during that meeting we had a fair amount of snowfall on us. It was quite amusing. We lost power. What's that?
Snowfall or rain?
Snowfall.
It was snowing.
Dense snowfall.
It started out as rain, and then it was snowing, both, and then it was bad.
So,
yeah, it was quite a night.
During that meeting, as Ms. Gluck had gone ahead and indicated, so this is going to be a little bit of repetitive information here. I apologize, but you'll see up on my screen.
Slide, that's good.
I have the values. So we had, I had sat, on the sidelines for the most part. So behind me, you'll see actually a handout which I scrubbed and what have you, but you'll notice up here on the top right-hand side the superintendent's proposed number, and I can zoom in for all those who are interested right now. The number that had come to the table post the thoughtful discussion, and again, a lot of work that has poured into it. The superintendent's proposed number is, as stated, $33,408,656,000. The special funds were separated because those are line items that are not to be touched. So that's $1,273,501. So then, needless to say, obviously the number put forward as a total was $34,682,157. Post the discussion that night, Ms. Gluck, because I know you were off attending someone's birthday, celebration of life, there was a total reduction of $964,775. The numbers are there as presented. So that's what made up that, and what constituted that is...
That was a revision.
That was a revision. 29. Yep.
Okay.
So there was the final bottom line. Yep. The Budget Committee proposed number for which we may hear at the deliberative or public hearing next week, but I think there's a meeting tomorrow night. So obviously there's more opportunities here for discussion. But the Budget Committee proposed $32,443,881 for the general fund, with a total of $33,717,382, which is a difference of negative $964,775. Now, what had gone through, and Mr. Broderick, you've discussed this as something you'd be inclined to see happen and be part of, is there was a per cost center, per line item discussion. So I walked away that evening intrigued by life and all that represents on a moment, every notice, every moment. There was, as Ms. Gluck indicated, there was a reduction in the guidance director at the high school, which represents $127,900. I don't exactly know how that number came 100% to fruition. I myself have a question to Carol if that's a legitimate number, $127,900 for the high school guidance counselor, because I couldn't pull that together myself in the budget book. Maybe I'm wrong here. But then there was the school board, as you can see, was being reduced. They're looking to have our school board stipends taken away. I get paid about 30 cents per hour here this past year. I'm being facetious. But public relations, as we all know, there's a lot of people who are just challenging that position and its worthiness. It's not been fulfilled yet. Sorry, folks. Thank you. Administrative pay, there was a decrease in the administrative pay line as well. Indication of this is there's a salary increase recently and where the staff did not. So we have a guidance director, administration, administrative pay, another pseudo-administrative role. Going down the list here, we got the math coordinator. We have declining math. We have math results that everyone wants to see go up. How do we get rid of the math coordinator? But that's my question. The math coordinator was recommended. The half-time French teacher, reduction of the French teacher. We have electives that are decreasing and we have, as I expressed before, there's a lot of electives that we don't have. So we're now making these two electives even more harder to get reduced. Pardon me?
More difficult.
More difficult. Thank you. Need food, like I said. A memorial teacher.
And then that one above it,
Yes.
other teacher reductions.
Okay, there was a lot of discussion about the other teacher reductions, actually, at that meeting. I guess I'll report that up only because you brought it up. There was a lot of teachers, and it has been suggested to the school board that we look at the 9th and 10th grade pods. There was a recommendation that we might be able to get rid of 4 to 8 teachers. 4 to 8 teachers. And you've heard that number too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was not pushed forward, but it was a recommendation that we, the school board, look down the road and reducing that line item by $275,000, which, again, look into it. Support salaries was not touched. Office clerical was not touched. The non-union staff, there was a decrease in the non-union staff line item. Here, I'm trying to, I guess I'll hide this column so you can see it all. All right, custodial, substitute staff, I guess they believe that we have enough substitute staff. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Blake, do substitute staff salaries here include when we needed the nurses last year? Just out of curiosity, when we had to get nurse and we needed help with staffing because there was a what's that?
We pay our subs $80 a day.
Yeah.
We have an incredibly difficult time even getting subs for our positions, and we've had to resort to hiring. In terms of the nurses, we've had to go to agencies, which are a lot more expensive.
Because there's a shortage. Yeah, critical shortages, right? Yeah. So okay. So go ahead, Michael, really quick. If it's regards to this line item.
Yeah, well, I was office clerical.
Yep.
Is that in your office or down here?
That's not actually up for, that's not
I'm-
recommended
yeah,
reduction.
I'm curious nonetheless.
Office clerical.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's good with the original.
Yeah,
Talking about
we'll let his answer.
Office clerk, 511.
Don't go beyond this.
511,
That's this.
office clerical, okay. So what is your question about office
He
clerical?
wants to
What
know what it
position?
means.
Where is
All, I think it's all. So, office clerical is primarily the SAU office.
What, Mr.
So it
Rogers?
includes special education, the director of student services, the superintendent's administrative staff, business office staff.
Yes, Mr. Roger?
It's the mechanics, and I'm not sure how the budget committee is working here. So I've got a question for you. When, for example, they say, cut the math coordinator, are they saying zero that line for the math coordinator, or are they saying cut the line by that amount of money, which equates to this? Because I think when it comes to hiring people and deciding who we hire and what positions they have, once we get the budget, that's a school board issue. But if they're saying, we're cutting $20,000 for a math coordinator, I'm using numbers, right?
No, use the.
They're not cutting the position, they're cutting the money. But they're saying this could be the position you use.
Correct.
Is that, okay?
The budget committee has to land on a figure.
Right, but they're not
And
saying cut this
Hold on,
person.
hold on.
And what happens is they try to justify how they get to that figure
Okay,
by
all right.
starting with the superintendent's proposed budget and then going through that to find places to cut to get to the figure that they wanted to get to.
Right, okay.
So they chose those items, and some people in the committee, you can go back and watch the meeting online of December 22nd, will talk about why they think we should get rid of the math coordinator position and we can save money there, and why we should get rid of the guidance director at the high school and how we can save money there. And
They
why
could
we
just
don't
say
need those.
We vote to reduce this line and not go that extra step
So
that they
it was-
chose.
It was like I'm doing right now, a line by line
Right,
discussion, and remove, make recommendations.
Because I also believe in is it the MS-27 document? When we file the budget, we have to, there's categories. So there's like professional salary, there's categories, and we have to figure out, the budget committee has to put together figures that add up to the total by those categories. Does that make sense? So that's why, and so these are their recommendations on areas to get to the budget figure
Right.
that they
So they're
are
suggesting
choosing.
that we cut the math coordinator, but
It's
that's
not their
certainly our
decision, right,
Well,
it's not their
it's-
decision,
there
it's
we
the
go.
school board's decision on how they choose to spend the money once the budget is passed by the voters.
I'm merely sharing with you the discussion and how they got there.
I was concerned about the job description, I guess I'm gonna call it, of a budget committee versus a school board.
Right. There's this fiscal only.
Right.
No, I understand.
So, keep going. So as you can see here, there's other items such as professional substitute staff. I ended up there. Technical services. The theme here, if you notice, a lot of it's trying to get back to like the FY16 number. And you can see like basically a lot of that. There's a big significant cut in maintenance services. That's a fifth. That's basically a fifth of maintenance services. There was discussion, rentals, again. Another one, supplies, a fifth. More than a fifth of supplies to be cut. Make recommendations. Books and periodicals, nearly half of the books and periodicals.
Guidance services, 25,000.
What's that? Guidance services did not get a discount. It was not, so there's no negative reduction here. No recommendation. And then there was also replacement equipment, replacement furniture, and that's where we heard that there was 200 chairs in the gym, and we're not Better Homes and Gardens. We can go ahead and take mismatching desks and put them together, and kids will be happy to go to school with that. Would you? With that, like pretty patterns.
Do they have heating?
No, this is chairs. So I just wanted to land on the figure. This is a number. My question, my question to you is, just think about the number you had voted to put forward versus this number.
So can I just correct a statement that I made?
I made.
No, I made.
Good.
The office clerical?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so it's support staff salaries, so it's support staff salaries everywhere in all the school districts, so it's a part of it is office clerical, but otherwise it's part of the support staff agreement, the collective bargaining agreement.
Okay, thank you. All right. So there's a budget committee meeting tomorrow evening,
Yes.
which we'll discuss later.
Yeah.
So again, I'm just asking us to land on what did we put forward and what do we support and why. We have unfinished business we're going to need to roll into. Do we want to take a quick break or just keep going?
Keep going.
Quick break, okay. Bladders and bladders.